seems to be a trait within Islam. Wouldn't you say that? I mean, I find, a lot of these videos circulating from Belgium, from England, they all want Sharia. So this seems bizarre to me. You leave your own country where you have Sharia and you have all these harsh rules, and you go to Europe and you go to US and all these, sort of advanced societies. You want to live off the welfare system, and you want Sharia. So, and if you go back, I was trying to, you alluded to this, that Muhammad had, while he didn't have, big influence in whether it was Mecca or Medina, I think, Mecca, I believe, where he was trying to convince people about Allah and all of that, and then it was like forced. So there are two different versions of the Quran. They're called Meccan ayats and the Medini ayats. The complaint earlier was, and even later, was constantly about that we've been discriminated against, and there is a justification to every act of violence. So, for example, Banu Qurayza, 900 Jews are killed overnight. Okay, all the male children are killed, slaughtered, heads chopped. They had to dig their grave, and these are prisoners of war. It's actually it's a very bad case of, how of behavior in war. In India, you see, if you go in the epics, there are rules of war. The sun sets, even the worst of enemies would stop war. You're not allowed to conduct war once the sun sets. As it rises, you go about killing each other. Okay, so there are rules of war. You don't touch women and children. You don't go kill the farmers. All of these rules were broken during Islamic invasions.
Well, if you look at the old, I mean, a lot of what Muhammad drew upon was Muhammad, one of his sisters was Christian, one of his wives was a Jew. He had a great deal of knowledge of all of this stuff. And the Old Testament is basically saying the same thing. It's a group selection manifesto. It has the concept of harem. And this is that you go into your enemy's area and you kill everybody and everything, and even their farm animals, like everything. You destroy everything, harem. And basically it comes down to an evolutionary strategy. So when Muhammad starts, it's the typical middle class purity signaler. You're middle class, you want to get status, you're a bit neurotic maybe because that predicts being middle class, you're anxious so you work hard so you become middle class, and so you don't want a fair fight. So like a woman, you virtue signal or you purity signal, and that's how he gets to the top. And he's obviously this charismatic man, and then when he's about 40, he has this conversion experience where the angel Gabriel appears to him, or so he says, and tells him that he should start this new religion, one God. So it's purity signaling. At the time, you've got the worship of one God. You've got people that worship all these other gods. Like with Moses. Moses comes along, you've got all these people worshiping lots of different gods, and he says, no, you must worship one God, Yahweh. And he's saying exactly the same thing with the Arab pantheon, Allah. And it's a way of drawing in people that are highly religious, and it's a test of membership. Basically, will you intellectually submit to us by saying that I believe in these dogmas, that there's one God and Muhammad is his prophet or whatever, and it's a way of getting women, because women are more religious than men, and women are attracted to charismatic men like that. So he gets 11 wives, but then tells other people they only have 4. And then he goes away to Medina, and he returns with an army. He takes over. So now there's all these people following him. So now he's really high status. So all the women want him, and those that are attracted around him, all the women want them. And then you just go into other areas and you take their land and you kill their men and you take their women. And this is just war. This is what happens. But it's sanctified as God's will.